Sorry, I got cut off there by an incoming phone call. Very rude. I'm back on page 347, chapter chapter 58 overall. This talk about comedy. Doing these videos is a comedy. Uh, my girlfriend's like put prisoner in the bedroom while I do these. So we're like trapped in the house. Anyways, but I'm sure you're trapped inside too. So I feel your pain. Solidarity, courage. We'll get through this. Chapter 3. Volume 3, Chapter 16. Again, Volume 3, Chapter 16. Overall, Chapter 58, page 347 in my edition. You're 3 chapters from the end, near the end of this chapter in any edition. Okay. Discussing Lady Catherine returning through London after trying to prevent Lizzie from marrying Darcy. Tells Darcy what she tried to do. And it makes Darcy realize, oh, she didn't tell you she would? Well, that means she might actually want to marry me, so I'm going to go see. So his aunt failed and comically actually enabled them to get married by trying to prevent it. She soon learned that they were indebted for their present good understanding to the efforts of his aunt, who did call on him in a return through London, and there relate her journey to Longbourn, its motive, and the substance of her conversation with Elizabeth, dwelling emphatically on every expression of the latter, which, in her ladyship's apprehension, peculiarly denoted her perverseness and assurance, in the belief that such a relation must assist her endeavors to obtain that promise from her nephew, which she had refused to give. But unluckily for her ladyship, its effect had been exactly contrariwise. So when she tells when she tells Lady Catherine, "No, I won't agree with you that I'll never marry Darcy. Get out of here. Who are you? You're not the master of me." When Lady Catherine then reports that to Darcy, Darcy says that this is what he thought when he heard this from his aunt. He said, "It taught me to hope," said he, "as I had scarcely ever allowed myself to hope. I knew enough of your disposition to be certain that, had you been absolutely irrevocably decided against me, you would have acknowledged it to Lady Catherine frankly and openly." He knows that she speaks her mind. That's why he loves her, is that she speaks her mind. Elizabeth colored and laughed as she replied, "Yes, you know enough of my frankness to believe me capable of that. After abusing you so abominably to your face, I could have no scruple in abusing you to all your relations. What did you say of me that I did not deserve?" Again, he's been chastened and humbled by her. He's listened to her in a way he never listened to. She got through to him in a way no one else ever could before. Okay? "For though your accusations were ill-founded, formed on mistaken premises, my behavior to you at the time had merited the severest reproof. It was unpardonable. I cannot think of it without abhorrence." He hates how he was before she chastened him and humbled him. And then she says, "We will not quarrel for the greater part of blame annexed to that evening," said Elizabeth. "The conduct of neither, if strictly examined, will be irreproachable. But since then, we have both, I hope, improved in civility." And then Darcy responds, "I cannot be so easily reconciled to myself. The recollection of what I then said, of my conduct, my manners, my expression during the whole time of it, is now, and has been for many months, inexpressibly painful. Your reproof, so well applied, I shall never forget. Quote, had you behaved in a more gentlemanlike manner. Those were your words. You can scarcely conceive how they have tortured me. Though it was some time, I confess, before I was reasonable enough to allow their justice." And then she goes on, "I was certainly far from expecting them to make so strong an impression. I had not the smallest idea of their ever being," and they're basically beginning to talk about what they couldn't talk about, which was, how they were feeling after that last frank conversation where she refused to marry him. So what am I saying in bringing up all this? Okay, so their relationship's evolving over time, and the question you're answering is like, as it evolves and develops and changes, and they fall in love, especially Lizzie now falling for him, and he changes. He tries to make more of an effort to show his good character, not to hide behind his pride and his class position in the upper echelons of society, and just not have to try with people because he's rich and powerful. Is it, with all the changes, is there still this fundamental, essential incivility? And I would say, yes, there is. This conversation starts by her saying, "I have to talk about this to you, even though it's impolite." And then the whole way Austen presents although he's delicate with it, the whole way she presents her response and the effect that when she says yes upon him shows just that they're beyond politeness here. They're beyond civility. They're in love. Okay, so that's really the point of this chapter. One more video to come. Apologies for this, the snafu with I put the phone on airplane mode so I won't get interrupted by stupid phone calls anymore. Okay, talk to you in a minute.